you always want to be a part of something epic and big. And, you know, with Stranger Things, I justice for Bob.
Justice
Bob
for
deserved
Bob.
better. That's what we, yeah. I try and capture for people, particularly young, you know, filmmakers and something, and you sort of go, the screenplay, you know, it all starts with the screenplay. The word, if it's on the page, and Bob stops running, period. It was just an awful sentence to read, right? You know, the Duffers, I'm like, did it hurt to write it? They're like, he's like, I was sobbing. I was sobbing writing it. And I'm like, well, you could have put a comma, you know, comma, and realizes the dogs are still behind him, and so therefore exercises great wisdom and judgment and continues to proceed out of the building, slamming the doors behind him, trapping the dogs forever, takes Joyce's hand in his. Thank you.
I didn't think I was going to be able to finish the season.
I never did that riff before. That was pretty good. What was that? But that was you know, I learned of Stranger Things coming to conventions. People would say, like, have you heard of this show? Have you heard of this show? And it's Goonies. It's Goonies. And I'm like, oh, you know, because kids and bikes and that 1980s vibe and everything else. And I watch it, and I'm like, Goonies didn't have monsters like this. Goonies, there were no monsters. So, but that feeling, that 1980s, it's just such a beautiful time, and the cars and the video games and like just the clothes, and it's not the 60s and it's not the 70s, it's like the 80s. But that franchise was like, it was now a global super phenomenon. And I auditioned, and I actually auditioned for the part of the reporter who's, you know who I mean? Yeah, he's like investigating the Russian angle. Yeah, I auditioned for that part. And my daughter Elizabeth helped me with that audition. And they said, we liked it. It was good. But we have another idea for this character, Bob. So then Elizabeth had a final, so she couldn't help me prepare for Bob. So my youngest daughter, Bella, helped me prepare for Bob. I got the part. And don't you think that Bella ever lets Elizabeth live it down? Well, the one that he got. So, but that idea that, like, okay, there's a franchise that is, it's clearly a franchise. It's clearly like a tentpole thing for the platform, you know, for Netflix. And so then I get to be on it. And I step on a moving train that somebody else has built. And, you know, you want to do your part. You want to do your part as well as you can and contribute meaningfully.